In today's session, let us solve a few questions based on quadratic equations. More specifically, the word problems on quadratic equations. A takes 6 days less than the time taken by B to finish a piece of work. So if B takes some amount of days, then A is going to take 6 days less. So let me assign a variable for the time taken by B to finish a piece of work. So I can say let B take X days to finish the work. Then I can say that A will take 6 days less. So A will take X minus 6 days to finish the same work. Now let's see what else is given. If A and B both work together, they finish the work in 4 days. That means in one day, A and B together can finish 1/4 of the work, right? Because they are taking 4 days to finish the whole work. That means in one day they can finish 1/4 of the work. Now I know that because B takes X days to finish the work, in one day B can finish 1/x of the work, right? And similarly in one day A takes X minus 6 days to finish the work. So in one day A can finish 1/x minus 6th of the work. Now I know that I cannot add the number of days taken by both of them, but what I can definitely do is I have a fraction of the work completed by them in one day. So in one day I know that A and B together can finish. So A finishes 1/x of the work and B finishes 1/x of the work and A finishes 1/x minus 6th of the work. So in one day together they will finish 1/x plus 1/x minus 6th, this fraction of the work, right? And it is given that this fraction is equal to 1/4. So I can say that the equation is 1/x plus 1/x minus 6 is equal to 1/4. Now I can take the LCM of x and x minus 6. It is x into x minus 6, and I can add the numerators as follows, is equal to 1/4, which means 2x minus 6 is x into x minus 6 divided by 4. So 8x minus 24 is equal to x square minus 6x, which means the equation is x square minus 14x plus 24 is equal to 0. Now I can of course factorize this, and the answer is going to be x minus 12 into x minus 2 is equal to 0, which means x is either positive 12 or x is equal to positive 2. Now if x is equal to positive 2, then x minus 6 will be negative 4, right? And you cannot take negative days to complete the work. Therefore we have to discard x equals to 2 as a possibility, and therefore the value of x is just 12, which means that B takes x days to finish the work. That means B takes 12 days to finish this work, right? So this is how we go about this particular question. I will pause for a few seconds before moving on to the next one. The important ideas used over here were the fraction of work done can definitely be added. So we first found the fraction of the work done by each one of them, and that could be equated to the fraction of the work done by them in one day. And also there exists a reciprocal relation between the number of days taken and the fraction of the day finished in one work. These are some of the important ideas. Moving on to the next question. Let us consider the following question. The denominator of a fraction is 1 more than twice the numerator. If the sum of the fraction and its reciprocal is 216/21, find the fraction. So it's given that the denominator is 1 more than twice the numerator. So what I can do is, I can assume that let the numerator be x, and it is given that the denominator is 1 more than twice the numerator, right? Twice the numerator. So I can say that the fraction or the original fraction is therefore equal to x divided by the denominator is 1 more than twice the numerator. So the fraction is x upon 1 plus 2x, right? And now it is given that the sum of the fraction and its reciprocal. So I have to add the fraction along with its reciprocal, and this addition should be equal to 216/21. Now the fraction is x upon 1 plus 2x and the reciprocal is 2x plus 1 upon x. This equals 216/21, right? And therefore I can now find the LCM. The LCM of 1 plus 2x and x is 1 plus 2x multiplied by x. The numerator is x into x is x square, and 2x plus 1 into 2x plus 1 is 2x plus 1 the whole square, is equal to 42 plus 16 is 58 divided by 21. And now of course this is just a question of opening up the brackets and simplifying the expression and cross multiplying. So let me do that quickly. So this becomes x square plus a plus b the whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square divided by 1 into x is x and 2x into x is 2x square is equal to 58 divided by 21. And therefore what happens is I can now combine some like terms. So 5x square plus 4x plus 1 divided by 2x square plus x is equal to 58 divided by 21. Cross multiplying, I get 21 times 5x square plus 4x plus 1 is equal to 58 times 2x square plus x. And therefore 105x square plus 84x plus 21 is 116x square plus 58x. And therefore bringing all terms to one side, I get 11x square minus 58 minus 84 is minus 26x minus 21 is therefore equal to 0. And now I have to find two numbers whose product is 11 into 21 having a sum of 26. This is not working, so let me now divide 21 by 3, so that becomes 7, and let me multiply 11 by 3, so this becomes 33 and 7. Therefore 0 is equal to 11x square minus 33x plus 7x minus 21, and therefore 0 is equal to 11x into x minus 3 plus 7 times x minus 3, and therefore 11x plus 7 into x minus 3 is equal to 0, and that's why I get x equals 3 or negative 7 by 11, right? And therefore over here we know that x is a natural number, x is an integer that we have chosen, so we reject the value of -7 by 11, and that is why we take x equals 3, and therefore the original fraction becomes 3 upon 2 3s are 6 plus 1 is 7, and therefore the original fraction is 3 upon 7. So again, pausing for a few seconds before moving on. Moving on to the next question. Let's take a look at the following question. Two pipes running together can fill a cistern in 3 1 by 13 minutes. So basically two pipes together, they can fill the cistern. Cistern is basically a cuboid or a tank. Can fill the cistern in 3 1 by 13. That's 3 13s are 39 plus 1 is 40. So it can fill the cistern in 40 by 13 minutes, right? So now if it can fill the cistern in 40 by 13 minutes, that means in 1 minute, the fraction of the cistern filled is therefore going to be 13 upon 40, right? This is the fraction of the cistern that gets filled in 1 minute. Now it is said that if one pipe takes 3 minutes more than the other to fill the tank, so let us assume that let the first pipe take x minutes to fill the whole cistern, alone. Now it is given that one pipe takes 3 minutes more than the other, so I can say that let the second pipe take 3 minutes more, that is take x plus 3 minutes to fill the cistern, and now I can say that fraction of the cistern filled in 1 minute, fraction of cistern filled by first pipe in 1 minute is equal to 1 by x, whereas the fraction of cistern filled by the second pipe in 1 minute is going to be 1 upon x plus 3, right? Again, you will notice that there exists a reciprocal relation between the time taken and the fraction of the cistern that is filled. And therefore, the fraction of the cistern filled in 1 minute, fraction of cistern filled by both pipes in 1 minute is going to be the addition of these two fractions, because in 1 minute the first pipe fills 1/x of the tank, and in the same minute the second pipe fills 1 by x plus 3 of the tank, right? So this is the total fraction of the cistern which gets filled, which means 1 by x plus 1 by x plus 3 is equal to 13 divided by 40. And now the LCM is going to be x into x plus 3, and the numerator becomes x plus 3 plus x is equal to 13 upon 40. So this becomes 2x plus 3 divided by x square plus 3x is equal to 13 upon 40. And therefore cross multiplying I get 40 into 2x plus 3 is equal to 13 multiplied by x square plus 3x, which means 80x plus 120 is equal to 13x square plus 39x. And therefore I can say 13x square minus 41x plus minus 120 minus 120 is equal to 0. So now we need to split these two numbers such that the product is minus 120 into 13 and the sum is equal to minus 41. So let us take the product. The product is 13 multiplied by 120. Of course, this is not giving a sum of 41. So let's divide by 2. That makes it 60, and let's multiply this by 2. Again, this doesn't seem to be working, and let us again divide this by say 5. So it becomes 12, and let's multiply this by 5. This becomes 130. Still not working, way too far. Let's divide by 2 and let's multiply by 2. And therefore the numbers are 65 and 24, because that gives a sum of 41. So I can factorize this as following. It would be 13x and x minus 5, and this would be plus 24 equals 0, which means x is either 5 or negative 24 by 13. Now of course x is the time taken, so we eliminate the negative answer, and therefore x becomes 5. So the time taken by the first pipe is therefore going to be 5 minutes, and the time taken by the second pipe is going to be 5 plus 3, that is 8 minutes, right? So both the pipes take 5 minutes and 8 minutes to fill the cistern alone. So again, pausing for a few seconds before moving on. Moving on to the next question. A person on tour has rupees 360 for his expense. If he extends his tour by 4 days, he has to cut down his daily expense by 3 rupees. Find the original duration of the tour. So a person has taken rupees 360 for his expenses, and he's decided to spend or budget some amount for a single day. Now if he decides to extend his tour for 4 days, then of course with the same money in his hand, he will have to cut down his daily expenses by 3 rupees, right? That is the situation. So this is a good problem to make a quick table. Let's make a table here. The quantities that I have is the total money, then the total days, and the expense per day. Now let's assume that the total money is 360, right? This is the original case, and let the original duration be x. So let me assign the variable. Let the original duration of the tour be x days. Now if you have 360 rupees which you are spending in x days, that means per day you are going to spend 360 upon x, right? Now comes up the extension of the tour. So he extends the stay. Now he is having the same money. So again this is 360 rupees, but he is going to extend his tour by 4 days. So the number of days becomes x plus 4, and therefore the expense per day becomes 360 upon x plus 4. 360 divided by the total number of days, right? So now let's see what is given. It's given that his expenses in the extension case is 3 rupees less than the original daily expense, right? This is exactly what is given to us, and that is because he's extending his stay by 4 days. That is why his budget per day is definitely going to decrease. Now what is his expenses in the extension case? It is 360 upon x plus 4. This is 3 rupees less, that is, it is less than the original expense per day, that is 360 upon x minus 3, right? So therefore this is the equation that I have. Again, please notice that the number of the money per day, the expense per day was being compared here, and it was seen that the expense in the new case or the extended case was 3 rupees less than the original case, and that leads to this particular equation. And therefore I can now find the LCM on the right hand side. So this becomes 360 minus 3x upon x. Cross multiplication leads to 360x is equal to 360 minus 3x times x plus 4. Opening up the brackets, I get 360x is 360x plus 1440 minus 3x square minus 12x. 360x cancels, and therefore I get 3x square plus 12x minus 1440 is equal to 0. Everything is divisible by 3, so this becomes x square plus 4x minus 480 is equal to 0. And now I can find out the factors. They are going to be plus 24 and minus 20. So this becomes x plus 24 into x minus 20 is equal to 0, which means x is either positive 20 or negative 24. Of course, we discard a negative value for the duration. So we have to find the original duration, which is x, and x cannot be negative. Therefore, the original duration is 20 days. Original duration is therefore 20 days. So this is how we go about this particular question. Again, the table really helped us over here. Moving on to the next question. Let's take a look at the following question. Rupees 6,500 were divided equally amongst a certain number of people. Had there been 15 more persons, each would have got rupees 30 less. Find the original number of persons. So let us assign the variable. Let the original number of people be equal to x, bx, right? Now again, a table is a very good idea here. Let us make the columns. So total money is one column. The total money is 6,500. There are x people, so the number of people, let the number of people be x, and therefore the money that each person gets, so money per person, if there is 6,500 rupees to be distributed between x people, the money in each person's share is going to be 6,500 divided by x, right? Now it is said that had there been 15 more persons, so if instead of x there are x plus 15 people now, again the money remains 6,500. So the money that gets distributed per person in this case is going to be 6,500 divided by x plus 15. Right? So this is the table that we can build. So now it's given that had there been 15 more people, each would have got 30 rupees less. That is, the money per person in the new case is 30 rupees less than the money per person in the original case, right? And that means the money per person in new case, money per person in the new case is therefore equal to 30 less than the money per person in the original case, right? This is what it means. Now the money per person in new case is 6,500 divided by x plus 15, which is going to be equal to 6,500 divided by x minus 30. Again, I can go ahead and take the LCM on the right hand side. So 6500 by x plus 15 is equal to 6500 minus 30x, the whole divided by x. And now cross multiplying, I get 6500x is equal to 6500 minus 30x multiplied by x plus 15. So therefore this becomes 6500x is equal to 6500x plus 6500 into 15. Let us just leave this value as it is right now. Minus 30 into x is minus 30x square, and minus 30x into plus 15 is minus 450x. Again 6500x cancels from both sides. So we are left with 30x square plus 450x minus 6500 into 15 is equal to 0. Dividing throughout by 15, I get 2x square plus 30x minus 6500 is equal to 0, right? And again dividing throughout by 2, I get x square plus 15x minus 3250 is equal to 0. So now we need to find two numbers whose product is minus 3250 and sum is plus 15. So let us find these numbers. So 3250 can be written as 325 tens are, and I can divide this by 5, so this becomes 65, and I can multiply this by 5. This becomes 65 and 50, great. This combination definitely works, so it becomes x plus 65 into x minus 50 is equal to 0, and which implies x is either minus 65 or x is positive 50. X is again the number of people which cannot be negative, and therefore the value of x is positive 50, right? So there are a total of 50 people originally that would get 6500. So this is how we solve this particular question. Let's do a quick check. If there are 50 people and you are distributing 6500, then each person will get 130 rupees. Whereas if there are 15 people more, then there are 65 people here, and 6500 divided by 65 is going to be 100. You notice that each person gets 30 rupees less, and hence our answer definitely matches the situation, and hence our answer is right. So again moving on and pausing for a few seconds. Moving on to the next question. A piece of cloth costs rupees 200. If the piece was 5 meters longer and each meter of the cloth costs rupees 2 less, then the cloth of the piece would have remained the same. How long is the piece and what is the original rate per meter? So let us quickly make columns for this. Basically the total cost here is 200. Let us assume that the length of the cloth is say x meters, right? And therefore the cost per meter is going to be 200 divided by x. Now if the piece was 5 meters longer, so again if the length was x plus 5 meters and each meter of the cloth costs rupees 2 less, that is as compared to the cost in the first case, if the cost is 2 rupees less, that is 200 upon x minus 2, if this is the cost per meter, then the cost of the piece would have remained the same. So the total cost would have still remained 200, right? And therefore the equation that I can build over here is 200 is equal to x plus 5, the length of the cloth, the new length of the cloth, multiplied by the cost per meter. So it would be 200 upon x minus 2. So again, what we did was we just took down the conditions. The cloth was 5 meters longer. So instead of x, say it was x plus 5. And each meter of the cloth cost rupees 2 less. So 200 upon x minus 2. This was the cost per meter. Then of course the product of these two parameters is going to give you 200, right? And now we can definitely open up the bracket. So we get 200 equals x into 200 upon x. X into minus 2 is minus 2x. 5 into 200 upon x is 1000 upon x. And 5 into minus 2 is minus 10, right? Now again x and x cancels and 200 cancels. Therefore I get 0 equals minus 2x plus 1000 upon x minus 10. Multiplying throughout by x, I get minus 2x square minus 10x plus 1000 is equal to 0. Of course, I can multiply by minus 1 and I get 2x square plus 10x minus 1000 equals 0. And now let's divide by 2. So x square plus 5x minus 500 is therefore equal to 0. Not difficult to find the combination. It's 25 and 20. Of course, the larger number is positive and the smaller is negative. So I get x plus 25 into x minus 20 is therefore equal to 0. And therefore x is either negative 25 or positive 20. Of course, x is the length of the cloth. Therefore, it cannot be negative. So we discard. So we say discarding the negative value for x. Discarding the negative value for x. We get x equals positive 20, right? And therefore the length of the cloth, how long is the piece? So the piece is 20 meters long. And the cost per meter, what is the original rate per meter? The original rate per meter is 200 upon 20, that is rupees 10 per meter. This is the original cost of the cloth, right? So this is how we solve this particular question. Let's do a quick check. 20 meters cloth at rupees 10 per meter will require 200 rupees, that is right. And if the length was 5 meters more, that is for 25 meters, and if the cost is 10 minus 2, that is 8 rupees, then 25 eights is also going to be 200. So the given answer definitely matches all our conditions, and hence our solution is absolutely right. Moving on to the next question. Let us take a look at the following question. There is a square field whose side is 44 meters. So let's make the diagram. There is a square field whose side is 44 meters. So the side of this particular square field is 44 meters. A square flower bed is prepared in its center. So prepared in its center means there is a equal length which is left from all sides. So this is the equal length that is left from all sides. This is a flower bed that is being prepared, right? This is the flower bed. A flower bed is prepared in the center, leaving a gravel path. So let us quickly color this. The yellow part is the flower bed, and the gray part is the gravel path, right? So a square flower bed is prepared in its center, leaving a gravel path all around the flower bed. The total cost of laying the flower bed and graveling the path at rupees 2.75 and rupees 1.5 per square meter respectively. The total cost is 4,904. We have to find the width of the gravel path. So let us assign the variable x for the gravel path. So let x be the width. Let x be the width of the gravel path. So it's given that the total cost is 4,904. That means the cost of preparing the flower bed plus the cost of laying the gravel path is given by 4,904. Now the cost of flower bed is going to be the area of the flower bed. So area of the flower bed, they have given the cost for laying the flower bed, it is 2.75 per square meter. So multiplied by 2.75 plus cost of the gravel path is area of the gravel path. Area of the gravel path multiplied by the rate for the gravel path is 1.50 is equal to 4,904, right? Now the total length is 44, of which 2x parts are gone, and therefore this length is 44 minus 2x, right? This is the area of the flower bed. So area of the flower bed is 44 minus 2x the whole square times 2.75 plus area of the gravel path is the area of the whole square, that is 44 square, minus the area of the flower bed, which is 44 minus 2x the whole square, times 1.50 is equal to 4,904, right? So the area of the gravel path therefore was calculated as the area of the full square minus the area of the flower bed. Now I can find I can expand this particular term, but before that let me convert 2.75. So in fractional form 2.75 is going to be 11 by 4 plus I can use a square minus b square here. That's going to be a plus b multiplied by a minus b, right? And this whole thing multiplied by 1.50 is equal to 4,904. Now of course I can expand this particular term. So this is a minus b the whole square. So 44 square is 1936 minus 2ab, that's 88x, plus 4x square multiplied by 11 by 4, plus this becomes 88 minus 2x multiplied by 44 minus 44 is 0 and 2x times 1.50 is equal to 4,904. Now of course everything is divisible by 4, so it becomes 484 minus 22x plus x square, the whole multiplied by 11, plus 2x into 1.5 is 3x times 88 minus 2x is equal to 4,904. So opening up the brackets, the equation that I get is 484 multiplied by 11, that's 5324, minus 22 11s are 242x plus 11x square, plus 264x minus 6x square is equal to 4,904. Now it's possible to combine all the like terms in the given equation. So 11x square minus 6x square is 5x square. 264x minus 242x is going to be plus 22x, and 5324 minus 4,904 is equal to 420. Is equal to 0. So we made a mistake in some calculation over here. Instead of 88x, it should have been 176x. right? So this should have been 176 here, and therefore this should have been 44 here, and 44 11s are should have been 484. Okay, and therefore let us now recalculate our equation. 5x square is fine, then minus 484x plus 264x will become minus 220x. Minus 220x plus 420 is equal to 0. Now everything is divisible by 5, so this becomes x square minus 44x plus 84 is therefore equal to 0. And now if you calculate, you get x minus 2 into x minus 42 is equal to 0, which means x is either 2 meters or 42 meters. Now here you will notice that x cannot be 42 because the total length itself is 44 meters. So you cannot accommodate two parts of 42 meters, which is why we discard 42 meters. Of course, you will have to write a detailed explanation of this, maybe 1 or 2 lines, not more than that. But we accept x equals 2 meters, and this is going to be our final answer. Therefore, the width of the gravel path is therefore going to be equal to 2 meters. So because this is quite a detailed solution, I am going to pause for 2 minutes and let you take a look at the complete solution before we move on. Moving on to the next question. Let's take a look at the following question. A swimming pool is filled with 3 pipes with uniform flow. So let us quickly draw a swimming pool. It is filled with 3 pipes. So let us draw some pipes here. So that's pipe A, pipe B, and pipe C. It is given that the first 2 pipes operating simultaneously, that is if pipe A and pipe B are opened, if pipe A and pipe B are opened, they fill the pool in the same time, during which the pool is filled by the third pipe alone. That means the effort of pipe A, and B together is equal to the effort of pipe C alone, right? Because if you keep these first two pipes operating simultaneously, then they fill the pool in the same time during which the pool is filled by the third pipe alone, which means the fraction of the tank filled by pipe A and B together, filled by A plus B together in 1 hour, it will be equal to the fraction of the tank will be equal to the fraction of the tank filled by C alone in 1 hour, right? And only if this is true, then the effort of A plus B together is going to be equal to the effort of C alone. Now let's see what is the condition given. The second pipe fills the pool 5 hours faster than the first pipe. So if I say that let the second pipe take X hours to fill the whole tank alone, then I can say that the first pipe, it's given that the second pipe fills the pool 5 hours faster than the first pipe. That means the first pipe is slower than the second pipe, which means that pipe A will take X plus 5 hours to fill the same tank alone, right? So B is faster than A by 5 hours, and it is 4 hours slower than the third pipe. That means the third pipe, if B was taking X hours, then the third pipe is going to take 4 hours less, is going to take 4 hours less than B. That means C fills the entire tank in X minus 4 hours. So again, let me pause for a minute and allow you to take a look at the whole solution before moving on. So just to explain it one more time, what is given is there are 3 pipes that are filling a particular tank. Okay, the effort of A and B together, when the first 2 pipes operate simultaneously, they fill the pool in same time, during which the pool is filled by the third pipe alone. So effort of A and B is equal to the effort of C alone, right? That means the fraction of tank filled by A and B in 1 hour is equal to fraction of tank filled by C alone in 1 hour. Now the second pipe fills the pool 5 hours faster than the first pipe. That means if pool B is filling the whole tank in X hours, A is slower than B by 5 hours. That means A will take X plus 5 hours. And the second pipe is also 4 hours slower than the third pipe, which means the pipe C will take X minus 4 hours. Now the fraction of the tank filled by A and B in 1 hour is going to be 1 by X plus 5. So because A fills the tank in X plus 5 hours, that means in 1 hour A fills 1 by X plus 5 of the tank. Similarly, B fills the whole tank in X hours, which means in 1 hour it will take 1 by X. It fills 1x of the tank. And similarly, C is filling the tank in X minus 4 hours, which means in 1 hour it will fill 1 by X minus 4. So the fraction of tank filled by A and B together is 1 by X plus 5 plus 1 by X, and this equals 1 by X minus 4, right? Now again I can find the LCM of the denominator. It is X into X plus 5, and the numerator is X plus 5 is equal to 1 by X minus 4, and therefore 2X plus 5 divided by X square plus 5X is equal to 1 by X minus 4. Cross multiplying, what I get is 2X plus 5 multiplied by X minus 4 is equal to X square plus 5X. Opening up the brackets, I get 2X square minus 8X plus 5X minus 20 is equal to X square plus 5X, and rearranging the equations, I get X square minus 8X minus 20 is equal to 0. Therefore X minus 10 into X plus 2 is equal to 0, which means X is either 10 or X is negative 2, but time cannot be negative, so we reject minus 2 as a solution, and therefore X is equal to 10. So find the time taken by each pipe to fill the pool separately. Pipe B is taking X hours, that is 10 hours. Pipe A is 5 hours slower, that means pipe A will take 15 hours to fill the whole tank. And pipe C takes 4 hours less, so pipe C will therefore take 10 minus 4, that is 6 hours, right? This is the time taken by all the 3 pipes to fill the whole tank completely. So pausing for a minute before we end today's session over here. Take a look at the solution very carefully and we end our session after that.